hold on, guys, real quick. Let me just see. Is this set up properly? Do I want it like that? Wait. Maybe I should raise it up a bit. Hmm. I'll use this. Okay, hold on, guys. There we go. Make sure this is there. Alright, that should do it. Okay, and let me just grab one more thing, guys, because it's over there. Okay, hold on, real quick. I don't know what is it about my fan, guys, but it's just what it is. Maybe I should probably shut that off as well. There we go. All right, so here we go. That's better, and I think that's good. All right, so we are live. So what's up, guys? It's Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here at Tim Talks. And hey, guys, welcome back to another live stream. Now, if you guys can probably tell, I just set it up real quick just because of the fact that like I said, I don't usually, apart from planning out the schedule, I just wanted to do this because I just wanted to, right? If you guys are wondering what's happening right now, if you guys are hearing like a vent, it's pretty much because of the fact that I got my software right over here. I got my laptop over here, and I'm just editing another episode. So, again, if you're wondering what that sound is, again, I do apologize. It's gonna cut off in just a bit because it takes a lot. And I don't know if you guys have had this problem before, but well, if you're not a YouTuber or a podcaster, then maybe you haven't. But you guys probably can tell this usually takes maybe give or take like 1 or 2 hours max to render a video. So, FYI, if you ever have that sort of you guys could probably tell what we as YouTubers go through when it comes down to editing videos, and so I do apologize for that. But I just want to get this done so I can get it over to you guys so that we just keep on top of the schedule and all that stuff, right? But also, you guys can probably tell from the title, it's pretty much a unique title. It's centering on students, but I just wanted to, reach out to every student out there, regardless of whatever age, gender, or whatever you are. So I just wanted to reach out to you guys because I know it is May and I know that summer's coming up. And, I just wanted to say, a big congrats to you guys because you guys actually made it to the end of, the end of the school year. And with the fact that as well, you got something down. Definitely for sure, you guys are gonna have an awesome summer, and I think everyone can pretty much use a break and all that stuff. But also, I wanted to get down to this live stream as well because I wanted to. Someone asked me a question about how it is that, I came across doing and focusing on mental health and all that stuff, right? And many people have asked, how is it that why did I focus on mental health and why is it that I'm so focused on like the youth? Why am I so focused on the new gen and all that stuff, right? So, first off, I'm not a creep. I literally have that unfounded respect for the new gen. I just have an unfounded respect for anyone who's young enough, just up and coming in the world, and just because of the fact that, like I said, you guys deserve more, and I just want what's best for you guys, what with the new gen, like myself, and then for anyone else out there who feels the same, right? And then so I wanted to answer that question, but I felt that it'd be due justice that I do an episode on this, but in this case a live stream, just for anyone who has a question about it. And also, like I said, with the schedule and all that stuff, right? Some people are just coming home, and it's totally fine. You guys can tune into this later on, and again, it's totally cool if you guys want to leave your questions, comments, or concerns, again, over in the chat, or if you want to leave it later on once this video renders, and that's completely fine, right? But back to what I was saying. So, my focus on mental health is literally based on you guys as students, or in this case, based focus on the youth. Like, and I know that I'm not dissing, for example, those who are older and whatever, right? But it's just more so that, I see a lot of potential, but like I said, I see a lot of problems with the new gen, sometimes brought on by themselves, or sometimes it's brought on by other people. And like I said, I'm trying to touch base on that right then and there, right then and now, right? So, actually, if I were to think back on why I wanted to focus on mental health, it was literally from, I can think as far back as like high school. And, if you guys don't know, like I'm already in my early 20s, and, just reflecting on what I've been through. So really, it came down to when I was in high school, and then I saw my friends have a lot of problems, right? And you guys understand how it is when it comes down to dealing with stuff. For example, like teachers, you comes down to dealing with things like grades or just the future and all that stuff. And literally, I cannot express how difficult it was for my friends when they were also up and coming people, and they were also trying to just understand what it is that they're gonna do in the world, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle for them, and it really was a challenge. And looking at how they reacted, and I will be honest about my friends, they all have their quirks, right? Whether it be for example, they themselves have their own struggles, physical, mental, sometimes spiritual, sometimes social. And I'm not gonna go into depth about who my friends are and what difficulties they've encountered, but really, just looking at them, and I can remember their faces and their struggles, and I can remember exactly what their problems were, even though it's been many years since we talked about it. And I just remembered how they were as students, and now that we're becoming adults, literally, I just cannot express how far they've come, but also how much of a change they instilled in me. Because, like, if I was to think about myself before, I wasn't necessarily the social person. I was literally the person who don't want to align myself with anyone. I didn't want to be part of a clique. I didn't want to, for example, be part of a group or whatever. And even though, like I said, with regards to the people that I've known, again, they went about their own lives. But as for me, I was always stuck in the mud with trying to do some things, right? I did focus on my studies, but the thing is, I should also I at the time, I probably should have done it earlier, but I also should have focused on what it is that's most important, right? And that's the people around us. Because without them, right, we wouldn't be where we are, right? No person can do things alone, and no person can actually progress without seeing another person, right? Yeah, we can always make time to move on. We can always make time to study, gain knowledge, and all those things. But really, it's a matter of just finding out who we are ourselves. And it was only toward high school where I kind of got the idea about just wanting to be ourselves and just wanting to focus on that. And nothing about trying to please other people or whatever, right? Because it is what it is, right? People have their own opinions, and people have their own ways of expressing the way they feel, right? And it was only toward high school where I came to accept that. And then you know all of those thoughts culminated into what we got right here and right now, and that's Convos. It's literally just down to what it is that I've been through, and the fact that I wanted to focus not only on myself but just to help other people find out who they are. And that's the main gist of why I wanted to do podcasting, but also delve into other things. So you guys probably notice on the channel, just to kind of digress from what I was saying a little bit, but you guys probably noticed that there have been some updates on it, right? I always consistently update, and I always consistently go on the community and check you guys. I always consistently try to also do these kind of shorts that or I don't know, these short videos. I don't know how to describe them, just because of the fact that there's so many ways you can call them. You can call them reels, TikTok, shorts, whatever it is. But really, I was also experimenting and dabbling into those, and it was fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool to actually be able to see that and do that. And it was so worthwhile and so fun to be able to do that. And on top of that as well, like I said, I continue to do these episodes. I continue to do podcasts, but also as well, dabble in a little bit of doing live streams. And I also love that as well. Even though, like I said, with live streams is the riskiest thing, but it's not about what it is that's happening just there, right? But it's also about what message you try to get across to people, right? So that's the whole gist of it. So like I said, so dabbling into podcasts, and then I went into doing shorts and then live streams, and then messing around and trying out the community tab, seeing how things go from there. And it was absolute blast to be able to do. And the fact that I got to do all those within a short amount of time, I cannot express how wonderful it was to be able to experiment with the tools that I got to be able to make the content for you guys. And that's just that unadulterated love that I have for you guys out there, wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter whether you're here over in the mainland or all the way across the Pacific Ocean. It don't matter to me. And I try to get that message across, right? So literally, when I think about what it is that we've been through, what it is that I've been through, and with my friends, and sometimes with my family, or all the challenges and struggles, and we keep pushing through. And more I wanted to focus on mental health. That's literally the main focus of everything. You can probably notice how whenever I make a short or whenever I make a community post, it's always focused on you guys, because you guys are the main, the main force of what I do, right? Not just an audience, you're not just viewers or subscribers or whatever. You guys are like a family, right? And that's very important when it comes down to starting up not just a channel, but also starting if you want to make a difference, right? And also, like I said, my focus primarily, above all, is on students. And it's not just because I'm a teacher and I'm biased, right? It's really not the way that it is. It's more so that I wanted to focus most specifically on the youth that will carry the torch, or that's what my professor said. You guys will carry the torch, and you guys will have a destiny of your own. You have dreams and aspirations. You get to do what you want to do, and this is the right time to do it because this world is pretty open-minded, right? Yeah, we're struggling with other things have been happening over here in the US that I can't really explain and delve into. I'll probably delve into that on Sunday. And as you guys probably noticed that later on there's another stream scheduled for Sunday, and that's because one, I could just do it, but also it's because of the fact that there's a major update that's been happening, and I've been experimenting with it, and it's been fun to be able to do. And like I said, it's been a blast to have started it up as well. And also, you'll see some major changes in terms of like the episodes and the way that the editing is. I've been experimenting with it and just trying to get the content, as professional. And just know that I am always looking into updating my content. I'm always looking into updating with what's going on in the world, right? And I hope as well that my ideas are working, and I hope as well that you guys are enjoying them as well. It doesn't per se matter with regards to if something looks a little off. Like I said, I'm still a person. I'll do my best to try and remedy that, right? To the best that I can. But like I said, I'll be streaming on Sunday as well, just to give you guys this major update that I've had, because it's not only going to change the way the channel is, but it's also gonna expand what it's going to look like, right? And like I said, like if you look over here, like right now, like right over here, so this is actually my setup over here. It's pretty simple and not too again, don't judge, but anyway, or actually no, you can judge, but anyway, you guys can see here with regards to like the videos. You can also see here just how much time had already passed, right? So it's like about an hour for this one, but you guys can pretty much tell what it is that we go through as YouTubers, as podcasters. It's not just as straightforward as like there's just some minor edits that I gotta do, and it makes it more entertaining and makes it more fun. But like I said, there's also that coming up, and all of this is catered to the fact that I want to not sort I don't want to say attract, but I also want to reach out to you guys. You're looking for help, but you're also looking for something that catches your attention, right? Some topics will be okay, and some will be a little different, right? Some will be very on point, and some will be very I don't want to go into that, right? And that's completely fine. The whole point is that you guys have been leaving your comments, and I take them seriously. I consult friends and family members and whatever, right? And the fact that I continue to do so regardless of whatever happens, right? I continue to look into what advice I can give you. And like I said, it's not even just myself, it can be other people who will come on, right? Which is why I also bring other people. Again, it's also important to collaborate because other people have really awesome ideas that not everyone may have. But like I said, I'm not always the person who can be able to you know answer the question entirely right. Sometimes there's other people that I bring on, right? But let me come full circle and go back to you guys as students, right? And what, with the end of the school year, and sometimes I wish as well that I started this earlier, just so that you're in the middle of this advice can help you throughout the rest of the year, right? But I know that as well that it's coming to a close, and sometimes I reflect on my mind if I'm too late or whatever. But then I realized that what with YouTube, and what with being a podcaster, and just having our episodes out there for you guys to hear. Don't mind the dog. I can't stop him. That is how he is. But really, when it came down to you know if I'm too late or whatever, right? I like I said, the advice is there, right? Whatever help that you need, it's always gonna be out there for you guys to see, right? And again, with all the struggles that people have, like I said, it's not that I don't want this to happen, but it's more so that there is a chance that things like this continue to happen, right? And that's the focus of what I do, and that's why I love doing my episodes on YouTube, because it stays there forever, right? It stays there no matter what happens. And um like I said as well, my focus is on students, but especially, what with the end of the year coming, right? You will go on to the next level, right? And that's something I want to give a shout out to, because of the fact that, you made it. Um, and I want to get a little personal, guys, with telling this little story. I remember when I was in college and we had this final practicum that we had to do, right? We had this practicum that we had to do, and it was so strange as well, because it was something, of course I'm used to it by that time that I was in college. We already get used to studying, and we get used to understanding the principles and whatever, right? We get used to getting the knowledge that we need to be able to succeed in our careers. But it's so different, when it comes down to getting into the classroom, right? And that's where really, that was one of my inspirations for the podcast, was when I actually delved into this specific classroom. It was in a middle school. It was at this school called Hopwood Middle School, and that was in Saipan, right? I don't want to specify teachers or students or whatever, right? But I will tell you right now that I had an awesome mentor, and she was inspirational, and she was beyond, without a shadow of a doubt, amazing. And she was truly someone who did care, and she was someone who was truly inspiring. But more inspiring was the fact that I got to see the students. Don't get me wrong, I love students of every age, but there's just something about middle and high school students that really catches my attention, right? Regardless of my degree or whatever, but there was just something about, having a student who you can talk to, and he or she can talk back and understand, and you both can understand each other, right? Regardless of whatever the situation. And that's the vibe that I got when I was there for my practicum. I found that it was an absolute blast to be able to be with students of that age, because of the fact that they're so unique and creative and inspiring, but also they're very truthful. That's part of the thing that I admire as well, is, when the truth is heard, right? That's literally the slogan of the channel, right? That's the truth's made heard. And that's especially true when it came down to teaching these students, and why I have a love for them. Because of the fact that, they're still innocent. Students, regardless of whatever they're doing, regardless if they do alcohol or drugs, they're still children, right? You guys are still young. And you're still experimenting, and you're still trying to get out into the world and try to see, hey, what's there for me, right? What's going on in the world, and what is it that I want to be, right? And part of doing that is experimenting, right? And with students, like I said, there's just so much that they want to experience, right? And sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad, right? And that is what it is when it comes down to students of every age. They will experiment, and that's what's also fun about it, is that when I saw the students, and they really wanted to do things, they wanted to get things rolling, they wanted to get things started, and they wanted to be able to just experiment and have fun with things, right? I was teaching, I think, seventh grade science, and I had 6 periods. There were seven, if I'm not mistaken. I had a free period in the middle, and then there were like first, second, I think first, second, and then there's fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, right? Again, I'm not going to disclose names, just because of the fact that they probably already know. But again, with every period, I really was proud of them, and I was really happy, just because of the fact that they pushed through with everything. They told me their stories. They told me what it is that they went through, right? And the thing is, I don't want to argue with regards to why it is that those things happen to them, right? But it's just more so that people have these expectations, right? And it's these expectations that students always have to quote unquote fulfill, right? Sometimes it's understandable, sometimes it's utter BS, right? But again, not just to be professional, right? I ain't gonna mention anything about those, right? But for the students, just hearing their stories, they're real. You can't fake them. And even to this day, I still remember what it is that they told me. I still remember um how they felt. I still remember what it is that they showed. And I also did this thing where I have this time where we go out and we just let it out. We let out what's happening, right? We let out what's happening, and then I tell them, I remind them that whatever happens stays there, right? Because either way, unless it is said, it's gonna go around as a rumor, right? Whatever is said is going to go out there and eventually get worse, right? Unless it's taken care of then and there, as until someone officially says it, right? That's why I have those rant periods where the students are freely, without a shadow of a doubt, allowed to say whatever it is that they want, right? And I think that was important, and that was where my focus on mental health really solidified. It solidified then and there that sometimes they just need to say things, and sometimes they just want to make their voices heard, right? Part of how I came up with the slogan, "The truth's made heard," is because of that. The fact that they were able to say it, right? And that it happened, and it was an absolute blast to hear those comments, but also it's a blast to hear them express themselves in the way that I wanted them to do, right? Sometimes they're scared because they always have these perceptions of teachers, right? Especially with me, I'm so young, right? Maybe they can, but they could relate to me and I can relate to them, right? And students, like I said, if anyone out there who's a student, right, your stories are not stupid, right? You literally have a voice, and you literally went through things, and the fact that you're here now, whether you're still out there in the world or you're there on this live stream or whatever, right? You made it, right? You're making it through, right? And you've done your best, and you've pushed through the challenges, you pushed through the struggles, all the trials and trepidations, and the fact that you can be over here and push through with everything, right? It's a heavy burden to shoulder with everything that you went through, and I understand when it happens, and I understand where you're coming from, because I was there. In fact, I still remember fresh in my mind how it is that I was as a student, right? And reflecting on that, I realized I wanted to do that, right? I wanted to get to you guys, and I wanted to be able to say, hey, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be okay no matter what happens, right? And just that love is there, and that is something I want to get to with every student of every kind. I was so thankful that I thought of being able to have those rants, because it really was needed. There was just so much happening at the school, and what with juggling 7 subjects, it's a lot, right? Teachers get 6 periods because we have a break in the middle, right? Or whatever time we have. But it was just such a struggle to be able to hear those stories and say, hey, this happened, right? And the fact that it did happen, again, it disheartens me as well that it happened, but it is what it is, and we have to push through it, right? And again, it was absolutely amazing to have heard them express themselves in the way that I wanted them to do, right? Sometimes they feel that they're pushed and suppressed, and I said, that's not true, right? You have to let it out, because you might do something later, right? you know and part of the reason, like I said, why I wanted to shout out you guys is because after everything that we've been through, I've seen students, like me as a teacher, I gave that opportunity, but not every student has that, right? Not every student is going to have that opportunity to say whatever they want, right? At that moment. Sometimes they can only hold back, right? And again, this is the chance as well where you get to say what it is that you want, right? Say what it is that you feel, and say what it is that you feel needs to be said, right? And that's why I have that unfounded and deep respect for students, and I have an adoration for the youth, and I always uphold that, and that's what I will uphold every single time that I'm on. The fact that you guys out there are who I'm focusing on, right? And regardless of whatever it is that happens, right, to know that you keep going, you keep pushing, and you won't let anything get in your way, right? That's the whole point there, and that's the truth, right? We go through everything, and I understand, especially. But before I end off this live stream, I know this might be shorter than others. There's just something I want to mention as well, a personal message, so to speak. I found out I needed this. So thank you, Poet Spring, for everything. I have this message as well for, my students. Like I said, I've had students before, and I've had students from, you know, second grade, fourth grade, first grade, seventh grade, and seventh grade was my latest. And, this is because of the fact that there's something that I want to, say as well with regards to what happened. And an honest truth there is, you know, there was this expectation where I was supposed to teach at a specific school. I'm not gonna disclose which one it was. You just have to reverse through the live stream and you'll probably figure it out, right? There was this expectation that it was gonna happen, right? But sometimes life moves us in ways that we can't really expect. Life moves us in ways that we never thought that we'd ever be there, right? And when I thought that I was going to stick around and do those things, I got an opportunity to come over here to the big city. And it's not, of course, it was a worthwhile opportunity to have, but it's a reflection of what it is that really that's how change happens, right? And not gonna lie as well, that there were a lot of things that I wish I had said before I had left, but at least I'm able to say it now because this is actually, if any, because I'm also going to post this on Facebook as well. For any of my students who are tuning in, if later on, just know that you'll be fine. You'll be fine no matter what happens. And, the fact that, your school year is almost up. And I know, here's the update on my students, guys. They're in 8th grade, and I have a feeling that they all made it. Regardless of whatever happened, they will always be given opportunities, and I felt as though they all made it. You know, and that's the thing why I wanted to do this specific live stream is because as their school year comes to a close, and as all of your guys' school year comes to a close, right? You should be congratulated above all because you made it. You made it, and no one can say otherwise that you haven't persevered. I know that there's been struggles that have been pushed against you, right? Whether it be from parents who have these expectations, teachers who have these hopes for their students and their bragging rights or whatever, right? To the faculty and to the other adults who say, we have doubt about the new gen. So not true, right? You guys made it. And, this message goes out personally to my students is that you made it. Now, it'll be only a matter of time before I find out when your promotion ceremony is, but I know that'll be live. And I know for the fact that, if it is live, I'll be watching that very carefully, right? Now, I love you guys, miss you guys, and the fact that, by the time you get this, like I said, I never know, right? I never know what it is that you'll go through in life, and it is how it is with life. It's unexpected and it's uncharted. We don't know yet what we're gonna expect, right? But if we think that we're gonna be put down by other people and say, hey, you're not gonna make it, no, right? It's not true, and there's always an opportunity where we can be able to express and do what we feel, and that opportunity is coming, right? So, for any of you guys who are elementary going into middle school, my best advice is this, right? Expect a profound change. Expect the fact that you're gonna transition, you're gonna have multiple subjects in different classrooms, you're going to meet all different kinds of people from all different kinds of schools, and it's just gonna be this environment where it's super energetic and it looks hostile, but it's because what with schools I've seen nowadays, there will never be a school that has enough room for everybody, right? Apart from like a private school or whatever, right? But really, it's just gonna be super energetic. But again, with regards to your peers, if some look okay or some look like a-holes, again, it's just because of the fact that none of you are, what do you call that? None of you are reacting, the way that is quote unquote expected. You're still experimenting. You're still living life and enjoying things, and you are going to push yourself and see yourself in a different light toward middle school, right? And then for anyone who's in middle school going into high school, just know that high school is also a different turf. High school is where, the game is on, right? And the life that you have becomes yours, right? Your parents don't always have to pester you, your teachers don't always have to fight against you, right? And you know what, with other adults who have these expectations, again, you know, the only expectation you should really look at is yourself, right? Not the expectation that other people, that the expectations that other people have for you. It's yourself that you should look at the most, right? Because as you progress through high school, you're gonna see that change. And yeah, I know it can get kind of serious, but again, approach it lightheartedly, right? Because a sound mind and a clear mind is better than having a mind that's stressed out. And I've seen that, been through that, done that, hated that. And it's not fun. So again, approach high school again more professionally, but also, you know, keep in mind as well that that is going to be your life, right? From then on, and for those of you who are going from high school to college or beyond, like in the military or something else that you're aspiring to be, right? Take everything that you learned from before to the best that you can and keep it with you till through adulthood. Because literally, you're gonna find that it's gonna be so helpful in doing so. You know, everything that you've learned, and again, regardless if you liked it or not, carry it over, right? It's better you have it here than if you just chucked it, hooped it in the trash. Because literally, everything that you learn does matter and will make a difference in life. It happens, right? And then from there, you can decide what it is you want to throw out, right? But for now, for the time being, if you go into college or the military or whatever, carry the skills, carry the torch that you have, and bear it and hold on to it and keep going as you go through adulthood. Because literally, you'll find that those skills, albeit unexpected, you're gonna find that many of them may apply somewhere and sometime in life, right? And then we come full circle back to my students again. You know, your promotion ceremony is coming up, and I cannot be more thrilled than I am to be able to see that and see you guys going up to the podium and grabbing that certificate, grabbing that, I think it's a diploma in terms of like middle school, and then moving on, right? No, don't let fear stop you, and don't let hate hurt you, and don't let, you know, those trepidations, you know, those experiences that you've had in the past hold you back. Because literally, the future is gonna be yours. And everyone who has been through that, like I said, you know, eventually there's a time where you will be fine. There will be a time where you will be fine and you'll be even better than before. Like I said, I cannot be happier than ever to be able to see you guys make it through to the end of your middle school journey, and the fact that you are able to make it, you know, past that and into the next level again. It's absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see what you have in store. Like I said, as a teacher, we always check up on what's happening, and so this message goes out to you guys and to every one of you who's a student. Again, you know, you made it through in the world, you're coming up in the world, and you, as you move on to the next grade level or to the next school or to the next opportunity, again, you know, you will be destined for greater things. I have faith in the new gen, and I have a faith as well that we will all be fine. And we're all going to, you know, we focus on what we love and we focus on the passion and the spirit to be able to move forward. Absolutely, we got to go for it. We got to go for it, not only as on an individual basis, but also as a society, right? If this world's gonna be ours, you know, we should uphold that, right? We should take it and make it ours and come to an understanding not only of ourselves, but everyone else around us, right? All right, so you know, with that being said, I also want to prepare as well for the next live stream on Sunday, so I got to make preparations for that. So I'm going to end off this live stream over here. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This will also go live on Facebook or wherever it is I'm going to share this to. Just because, like I said, I want to reach out to everyone out there who's the new gen. I want to reach out to everyone who feels the same way when it comes down to, you know, what it is that's all about life. And that's us as the future, right? We have a future to look forward to, and I can't wait to see what it has in store for us, right? So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, share, sub, and much love. You guys have been an awesome audience out there, whether you be here or whether you're still asleep, I don't know. But it's really hard to find the time to be able to do this. But again, you guys have been awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please have an awesome morning or afternoon or evening. I don't know where you are in the world. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please have an awesome day. And this is Mr. T signing off, and I'll see you guys at the next live stream. Again, I'll be premiering that on Sunday, and that actually has a major update. And that will be focused exclusively on the channel before I get into other things. All right? So have an awesome night, or morning, or afternoon, and I'm going to be signing off now, right? Peace.